any of these recommended wireless access points. So what these things will do, they will greatly extend your signal range, in some cases even miles. We have some people, put these up on flagpoles. Obviously they put up the proper protection there for electrical. They ground everything. They follow the instructions and the manual and everything. But they set this up the right way, and they're broadcasting their social hotspot signal for miles and miles and miles. So these also have their own unique SSID. So your social hotspot will have an SSID, and these access points will also have their own SSID that you can use. And let me just sorry guys, let me quickly add Tony to the call if he's here. Yeah, I'm going to add Tony here. He's going to stay on to answer any questions. There we go. So Tony's on as well to help out Mark answer some questions. But anyways, back to the presentation here. You can have multiple SSIDs, and you have to connect directly to this actual access point to change the SSID. I'm going to explain that in a minute. This is very important stuff. It's one thing you have to remember when you're setting these up. They have great benefit, but they require one minor maintenance change, and I'll explain that in just a minute. So looking at how you would set these up, what you want to do is follow the instructions of the access point, and I'm going to do that with you guys in a second here in this presentation. You want to greatly, think about where you want to place these to greatly extend your signal range. You want to put these pretty much on the outside of your patio, anywhere that your hotspot can't cover. We see a lot of people in the group sharing these apps on signal testers. You want to put these access points or patio extenders where your signal is not. Obviously, you want to go to the nooks and crannies or the outside, patio entrance where you can broadcast this in a very big way. You can have unique SSIDs, but as you'll see, what I recommend here is to keep one standard one. So don't change your SSID often. Keep it, standard, like free Wi-Fi from Joe's Pizza. And kind of don't keep the advertiser name in the SSID if you're going to plan to change that often. And I'll tell you, the reason for that in a second. Because I'll tell you right now, you have to connect directly to the access point to change the SSID. I'll show you in the instructions here. I was going to explain as I'm teaching you how to do it, why that's the case. But here's the general setup of how you'd set this up. So you have your router, your social hotspot over here, and what this will do, this will run all the way to the power injector. This SSID comes with a couple things in the box, and here's what it is. I just zoomed up. So this comes inside. It's basically a power adapter. You plug the power into this little white box. Okay, and this white box will have two holes. They'll have one hole that goes to your access point, and they'll have one that goes to your thing. And the reason I zoomed in is this instructions is kind of weird. Like, there's no reason to keep this at 100 feet, and then this is the short one. What a lot of people do is on the inside, they put the power injector, and they make this cable the long one. So they take this cable going directly from the power injector to the access point, and this can be 100 feet maximum. So if you just want to take this and put it up on the ceiling, you don't need power there. You just need a 100-foot cable going directly to the access point. So here's how you would set it up. Very briefly, you'd have the power injector to the router, kind of the router internet going in, and then the power injector going to the access point and broadcasting out. Now this will have its own SSID, and on the back of the access point, you're going to see this signal tell you if it has power, if it's connected to the LAN, and what the signal strength is. Now typically this will always be blasting because this is awesome hardware. This is going to really blow it up. And this is what you want to look for the back, but generally this is it. Now all these instructions as well, I want to stress, they'll come in the box. So I'm just giving you the heads up. Don't worry if you don't get it now. I'm going a little fast as well. All these instructions will be step-by-step in the box. We're also going to create a custom video and show you how to do this. Super simple, but it's really easy to do. So again, you have the power injector on the inside. No need to have power at the source, and you can run 100 feet max to your access point. So here's quickly how to set up your access point. We'll turn this into, this is a step-by-step video, so if you guys order it, you can reference back on this. This will be replayed and posted in the members area. But here's how to set up your access point very briefly. What you need to do is you need to connect directly to the access point initially to initialize it. So typically you would have a desktop or a laptop is really easy to do. I recommend using a laptop for this. What you want to do is in Windows, or you can do this in Mac as well. We'll have some instructions for Mac. But in Windows, you click on My Computer or My Network Properties. And then you have your internet connection. You click on your internet connection and go down to properties as well of that. In general, you go to Internet Protocol, the TCP/IP, and then you click on Properties. In Properties, what you want to do is set a static IP address. So those of you who are testing things and know how to do this, you obviously understand. But those of you who have never done this before, don't be worried. This is really easy to do. We'll have these instructions, like I said, in print form and in slower video form. But what you do is you set a static IP address for your laptop. And what this will do is make it not change. It will not get an IP address that's issued from somewhere else. It will just issue it to itself. And what you do here is just a sample. You type in a static IP address and a static subnet mask. Just copy this exactly. And then once that's set, you go into your browser. So you just open up Chrome, for example, and type in 192.168.1.254. And after, obviously, you set everything up, the access point, this will allow you to connect directly to the access point. And once you do, you'll see something that pops up. It'll ask you for a username and password. What you want to do is just type in admin. Both your username and password here will be admin. All this, again, is the instructions. After you log in, you just click on Quick Setup. It's super simple to do. There's a button there that says you can do it all manually or just click on Quick Setup. So you just click on Quick Setup and click on Next. And then what you want to do is click on Standard IP. So this is just standard wireless access point. And then you click on Next. Now over here is where you set the SSID. Now I want to stress something here. This SSID, you can set it here and you can leave it, and that's what the SSID will be for the access point. In order to change this, you need to connect to the access point the same way you're connecting initially to set it up to change that. There is no current way to change the access point SSID. You can change the SSID of your own hotspot, but the access point SSID cannot be changed. So what we recommend is this. Keep a static name for your hotspot. So like I said, call your hotspot Joe's Pizza Free Wi-Fi or Free Wi-Fi, Saks Fifth Avenue, whatever it is. But keep it static and don't keep the advertiser there, which means that the name of the hotspot, the name of the SSID will probably never change. It will always stay the same. And here's the trick, okay? So pay attention to this. You want to name the SSID the same on your social hotspot as you do the SSID on your access point. So name it exactly the same, character by character, word for word. What you'll do here is you'll give access to a device to connect to that named access point. And as the customer walks around, they're automatically going to connect to either the access point radio or the radio on your hotspot seamlessly. Okay, so I'll repeat that again. Best practice is to keep it the same. Same SSID name on the access point as you do on the hotspot itself, on the social hotspot, okay? Now, for those of you who are asking, you can keep them different. You can keep them different, not recommended, but it will work. So it'll look like you have two hotspots, but regardless of which one you connect to, they'll still go directly to your locked login page, okay? So yes, they are bi-omnidirectional. They're not fully omnidirectional. They're not fully circular, but in the corner they will pump really hard. They'll push some good signal. So again, you want to set the SSID. Choose your region here as well. This is just so it doesn't interfere with any current radio waves in your region. You can choose a channel or just leave this all the same. For anyone, you don't have to touch any of this stuff. Leave everything cool. And here's how you would set it up initially for multiple. Actually, let me show you this one first. I had it in the wrong order. So this is the social hotspot extender. Here's how you would set it up. You'd have the internet going to your modem, typically. The modem would plug into your social hotspot. And again, each social hotspot can have a maximum of 250 simultaneous connections and a range of 60 yards. Okay, so this 60 yards is its radius, so it can go anywhere 60 yards from the initial social hotspot. Then you want to connect your access points via Ethernet cable. Like I said, we recommend Cat5e Ethernet cable. You want to keep it Cat6 if you're doing anything outside where there's weather or lightning or power surges and stuff involved. Cat6 just has better casing. It's much better. But the distance recommended for maximum is 100 feet max. Anything longer than this, you're just going to ask for problems. Really, you're just going to maybe be slow, or you're going to have some issues, maybe weak, but keep it under 100 feet max. And then, as you know, there are 4 ports in the back of your social hotspot, so you can plug 4 patio extenders into them. Now, you'll have to configure each one separately, as I just showed you how to do. But after you configure them, you can plug in, obviously keep them all the same SSID. I mean, all of these have the same SSID, so it's all just one, bam, massive connection. And then each one of these will pump up to 300 yards while staying safely. But I've seen in some cases, like I have one at my, my office, and I go down the street, like I went for a coffee down the street the other day, and we were like easy, like almost a mile away, and I was getting like 1 bar. It has some interference too, with some traffic lights and stuff in the way. So it's pretty crazy, like how far this stuff can go. And imagine this, like when you have an SSID, promoting the brand itself, like Taco Time in the mall or something like that, you can take one of these signals and really pump it as far as you can imagine, reasonably in that area. So plugging in more of these, obviously if you need more than 250 simultaneous connections, you can plug in multiple access points and multiple social hotspots. So this is where a switch comes in. So the switches that we had in the accessory store, you buy one of those, you plug it into your internet goes directly into a switch. What this will do is just share the connection. So if, for example, those of you who are asking about POS devices, or if you had let's say I have another hotspot inside and I want to keep that secure, but I want to keep one social, and the business, had some concerns, whatever it is, this is an ideal way to set that up. Okay, so you have the internet modem to the switch, and then the switch will let you plug in, let's say, a couple computers if you want, if they have computers that they want to use in the office. Then you can have one that goes to their internal secure hotspot, and then one that goes to your social hotspot. Okay, and again, each one of these can have 250 simultaneous connections. So if you wanted to have, let's say, let's say you have multiple floors of a hotel, you can put one of these on each floor if it's a small hotel. If it's a larger hotel, you can put one of these on each floor, and a couple of these as well. Okay, and then, not recommended. Really, to that level, we're looking for gateways, just to repeat that. So we're going to be coming out with some really good gateway options very, very shortly, as far as lower, cheaper than $25,000 solutions. We're looking at some other hardware options and different levels for different number of simultaneous users. So that's coming soon, I promise you guys. But now, if you're looking to do, and this will probably accommodate almost most small hotels in local areas. So you can have obviously as many hotspots as you want over here. Keep in mind this internet needs to be very, very fast for this to work very, very efficiently. And again, you have your Cat5e or Cat6 Ethernet cable. You can plug in max 4 extenders per social hotspot, and then each one will blast 300 yards. So this is pretty good stuff to get some really wide range, and really, again, focus for local. Anyone who's looking at outfitting stadiums or looking for thousands and thousands of users, that's Gateway. You're not going to do that with a social hotspot. You're going to do it with a Gateway solution. And like I said, all that is coming very soon. So some easy getting